It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Well, good morning to you if you're just joining us. It is the Fish Florida Show, an honor and a privilege to be your host this morning. We are here every morning, 8 to 10 a.m., and you can find us several different ways. Those of you who have already found us, thank you. But if you want to tell your friends, many different ways you can find us. The easiest of all of them is the Fish Florida app. You can download the app absolutely free. There are no charges, no hitting charges, no nothing. You can download the app. You can find us on the app, along with have a very powerful tool in the palm of your hand. For those of you who do outdoor activities, this is a really nice tool to have in the palm of your hand. It has all kinds of information on it. If you don't have the app, there's many different ways you can listen to us. If you have unlimited calling, we have a phone number that you can actually call. You can share it with your friends. The number is 701-719-9704. If you're on Facebook, you can click on the Contact Us, and that'll take you directly to our streaming live server. If you're on the internet, you can go to fishfloridashow.com and click on Listen Live. If you're one of the Late Night in the Midlands subscribers, of course, you can find us at latenightintthemidlands.com. So there's many different places. We can also be found on TuneIn, but I think that the way you have to find us on TuneIn is to go to latenightintthemidlands.com or put in Late Night in the Midlands. Anyway, this morning got a great lineup, and I've got my co-host, who is Pam Worth, one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida. I think she's going to be down my way next week. How you doing, my girl?
Real good, real good. It's the week after that. I think next weekend is Father's Day.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I've got an offshore kayak tournament Saturday the 22nd in Pompano. So
great.
That should be a good time. If you want to look at different kinds of kayaks, be out there. It'll be a good time for all.
And that is a husband and a wife, Hector. Somebody, right? Is that who puts it on?
Joe Hector.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
Joe Hector with Extreme Kayak Tournaments.
I had a brain, bubble there going on. I couldn't think of the name. I'll reach out to him, and we'll see if we can get him to come on for the next show, which would put it a week from that show, correct? If we have him on next weekend, that would be great.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, we'll have him on, and he can give us an update and information about that. And it's just kayaks, right?
Right. They also have other things going on there. They have a lot of different vendors, which is cool. And they have kind of a fitness thing going on. And they have paddleboard races.
Huh.
So
wow.
it's a great day out there for the whole family. It costs you nothing to come out and
Sweet.
check everything out.
Sweet.
If you have any questions on offshore fishing or kayaking in general, you're going to have over 100 different anglers out there to chat with.
Great.
So that'll be fun. Plus, hopefully, see some great fish brought in because it's a live weigh-in right there on the beach.
And how many kayaks do you think is going to... Well, how many were last year? Quite a few of them, right?
Yeah, I think the highest he's had was like 189.
Wow.
So, yeah,
wow.
That's a lot of people launching at, first light. In the summer, we usually launch right around 6:30, and everybody's back in by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I imagine you're pretty drained by then anyway.
Yeah, so it's a good time.
Wow. I can't. I'm visualizing in my mind approximately 200 of these kayaks all taken off at one time. It would up in the air. Seeing it from from a drone view or an airplane's view, it would look almost like ants. You stepped on an empire.
Yeah, it's pretty. What we do is we get on the water, but stay in Pompano Beach. They have swim buoys, or so we stay between the beach and the swim buoys until it's actual takeoff time.
Oh.
That way, everybody. It's not like the old starting races where you launch from the beach.
Yeah.
That way, if the water is a little choppy or wavy, people can assist each other to get out through the breakers. It makes it a little safer.
Yeah.
Safety first. Absolutely safety first.
Well, while we're talking about the water, today on this side of the state, I'm on the East Coast, by the way. I don't know if I said that earlier. I'm in Palm Beach County. We're on the south part of Florida on the East Coast. Over here, we're going to have pretty calm day when it comes to the ocean. They're saying 2 feet or less. Winds are going to be 5 to 10 knots. The intercoastal waters are going to be extremely light chop, and it's going to remain that day for the majority. Remain that way for the majority of the day. So what's it looking like over there?
It's beautiful. I didn't watch the weather, but it's sunny. There's a very slight breeze, and it's just a beautiful day to get out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, as I look at the interactive radar map, there's very little activity. Most of it actually is happening around the Panhandle. There's looks like a little bit of activity happening up there, like they really need it with all the trouble they had with the hurricane. But that's where it really looks like it's happening up there. Sporadic all around the state. Very little on the East Coast. A little more on the West Coast than there is on the East Coast. But again, majority of the activities are up there around the Panhandle. The warnings.
Yeah, we're good.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say we're going to start getting into, on the West Coast, summer-type activity, which means around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we could get slight showers coming off the beach and headed inland.
Yeah, we get into that pattern where it heats up, and then we get the ocean breeze, which is very humid, kind of filling up the clouds with humidity, and the next thing we know, we got liquid sunshine, as I refer to it.
You got it.
Here on the East Coast, we have really no big warnings about the beaches other than there's a possible threat of sea lice in some areas. And those areas that are that you see the waves are kind of 2 to 3 feet. Just be careful because the water comes in. It's got to go back out. And they call that a rip current. So when that water goes back out, it's very powerful, very, very powerful, very scary to get caught in. But if you happen to get caught in it, just go with it. Actually, the best thing is not to fight it, but to go with it and swim parallel to the shore, and you'll get out of it. But the last thing you want to do is panic because it is a freaky thing. I've been caught in it several times as a young kid, and we used to go surfing all the time. I used to love to surf, and I've been caught in it several times, and it is spooky. You get pulled right out very quickly, very, very quickly, a lot faster than you can swim. So that was one of the things to just be careful of. Get out there, enjoy yourself, just be aware of this kind of stuff going on. Anyway, we've got a great lineup. Robert will be joining us here in just a moment. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. Hope to have Tony on later. Tony Ludovico is an underwater diver with some amazing pictures. And it's almost like he's invisible. I think somebody told me they refer to him as a ghost or something, or the fish whisperer, maybe. Peter will be on later on. Peter with jcamm Fishing Lures. Very knowledgeable man, willing to share his knowledge with people how to improve your odds of going out, whatever it is that you're going after. He's got a variety of different lures that you can use to do that. Rick Southerland with Southerland Fishing Tours. He's going to give us an update what's going on there. And Leiza Fitzgerald, she's with CCA Florida. She'll be coming on later and giving us an update with what's going on with them. I love that group. I just got to tell you, thank you so much for introducing me to them. I love what they do. I love what they stand for. It's all about making it better for everybody. And that is oh my gosh, that's really my heart's passion. And finally, we'll finish off with Paul VanReenen. Paul has his own lure company, Untitled Lures, and we'll hear from him. I think he's in Louisiana. I think that's where he's at. We'll find out when he calls in. Is that right? Is he in Louisiana or is he in Florida?
He was based in Florida, and his wife got a marvelous job in Texas.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, they moved to Texas. So his partner, Ron, is here in Florida, and he's in Texas, is my understanding.
Yeah,
great lures.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was Texas. I knew it was I thought it was out of town, and anyway, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us here going to be showing up in just a moment, and Robert, I'm sure, will be calling in just a second. So you've done some fishing this last week because I heard you before we got on the air. I heard you were saying that you had a picture of a nice red.
Yes, matter of fact, I just posted on my Instagram and Facebook, and I'll get it up on, your Facebook a little bit later. But yeah, I went out fishing with what's called the BACK Club, BACK, Bay Area Canoe and Kayak Club.
Cool.
And it was great. And what we're doing is getting ready for our night fishing trip, which will be at Fort DeSoto. So yesterday we just kind of fished it just to make sure everybody knew the lay of the land, as you say, because fishing at night is a very different thing than fishing in the daylight. So it was fun. Caught a bunch of fish. Everybody had a great time. So we enjoyed it.
My favorite time. Got some what?
I was going to say I got a couple nice reds. One was around 28, and the other one was right at 27.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a good time.
My favorite time to go fishing at night is on a full moon. On a full moon, when it looks like a giant puddle out there, just as calm as you can be, that is the most amazing time for me. The light off the moon, on some nights it's so bright, you can actually shadow. You see a shadow off of if you're in a boat, you see a shadow off your boat, or a shadow off your body. To me, that is phenomenal. That the entire atmosphere of being out there, a very gentle rock, and the quietness and that light. It's just something about that light that comes off the moon when it's a full moon. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. The last time the club went night fishing, we did it at Fort DeSoto again. And there's a guy that goes up. I think there's a couple captains that do bow fishing, bow and arrow, and they do it at night. So their boat is lit up like a Mardi Gras party boat.
Wow.
And so here we are in the dark fishing, and you can see this boat literally from miles away.
Oh, wow.
It was brighter than the moon.
Wow. Well, many years ago when we would go shrimping, one of my favorite things is I had this. I think it's a 1,000,000 candle power handheld light. This thing is so powerful. I can point it at the lights at night, at the street lights, and put them out because they have photosensors on them. It was so bright it would make the photosensor trip and shut the light off. That's how bright this thing was. But you get it out on the water, it's completely different. The water absorbs the light. It's really weird how the water absorbs the light. But this thing was so bright. We went out one night to a concert. They had a concert there in Miami on what was the name? It was on Key Biscayne. I can't. Biscayne Marine Center. Anyway, it was a group. It was called Rare Earth, and they were floating on a dock. And so they had quite a few boats coming and going. So we went to listen to the music. And this thing, on the way back, of course it was dark on the way back, and I used it to find my way back to the dock. One of the guys back at the docks saw me. He said, "I can see you from like 3 miles back, man. What is that thing that you've got?" He said, "This thing was very powerful." It was extreme on a night like that night, which there wasn't a moon out. It was just pitch black. We go from one extreme to the other out there on the water. When there's no moon out there, oh my gosh, it's black, black, black. You can't see where you're going, And then you go to on full moon and it's completely different. But that's what you reminded me of when you said, "Yeah, I could see that guy from miles back." They were telling me they could see me from way back there because of this this handheld torch, I think is what they referred to it as. Phenomenal for shrimping. Oh my gosh, because it would go deep down in the water, probably 8, 9, 10 feet down in the water. This thing would go. If you've ever been out in the water and you take a light and you flash it, you'll see what I'm talking about. The water literally absorbs the light. It's crazy. It's not like when you're on land. You don't realize when you flash that beam of light on land, things reflected, even trees reflect a degree of the light. Nothing that I'm aware of on land absorbs the light like the water does. It's pretty weird thing. Anyway, I see that we haven't heard from Robert, so apparently he's probably got phone issues, or maybe he's, I still haven't heard back from him, so he's probably got something going on.
Yeah. And, the one thing about night fishing that I like so much is there's, number one, obviously there's less traffic, a lot less people on the water.
Yeah.
And
it's cool.
It's cooler.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very cool.
A lot cooler.
Yeah.
For those who don't like the heat of the day, instead of getting up at 4 a.m. to try to get on the water early when it's still cool, it's light till 9 o'clock at night now. So, get on the water at 6 or 7 and maybe fish till 10 at night. It's really a good time.
Yeah, I was shocked. I think the longest day, I don't think we've hit that one yet, but when we hit the longest day, or have we hit the longest day for the summer? No, I don't know. I can't keep track of that stuff. But when we do, we have light up till like 8:45. almost 9 o'clock at night. It's still light out. That's crazy. When you think about when you go to the other side, when we go back on whatever that is, when we go back an hour, and it's dark at 5 o'clock. So we have like a 4-hour difference between one extreme to the next. But there is really, to me, nothing like being out there on the water, especially on a full moon, on a night where it's just calm. Very, very soothing kind of feeling. So let's see. We talked about the kayak tournament in a couple of weeks. You did a little fishing this last week. Where were you last week fishing, by the way?
I was a couple places. Across from the Courtney Campbell Causeway. Got a lot of snook there. I was yesterday. I was at Fort DeSoto, which easy kayak launches all over the place, and the fort is so big that it gives you a lot of different opportunities for to fish and find different areas.
These are all on the West Coast, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I may head north next week up to, I think it's called Stinchahatchee. I may head that way next week. We will see.
And you were on the, what was it, the week before, was it Crystal River or something like that?
Yep, up around Crystal River. That's definitely north of here. You know, I was talking to Leiza Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
She's down towards Sarasota, so who knows? Maybe next Friday, if she can get the day off, maybe I can con her in to go fishing with me. That'd be fun.
She had we'll have her on in a little while. She has a nice picture of some fish that she caught. I think that was her, if I remember right. It was a wahoo, if I remember right.
She was a tournament angler and one of the first lady captains in the state of Florida.
Really?
And one of the top winning redfish tournament anglers. Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge. If you're out there and you have a
I wasn't aware of that.
In Florida,
yeah,
a fishing club, and you need a speaker, she's an amazing speaker.
Wow.
It's amazing. And the knowledge that she has is, I wish, she's probably forgotten more than I'll ever learn.
Well, I wasn't aware that she was one of the first female captains, commercial captains.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have to congratulate her on that. That's because it is, unfortunately, and it's changing. It is changing, but it is pretty much a male-dominated industry when we talk about fishing. But there's big changes happening. I see more and more ladies getting involved, which I enjoy, because for me, in my experience, it was my mom, because of my mom's love for fishing, I think, that we did so much of it. And, of course, I fell in love with it, and my brother fell in love with it, and my dad, he loved it all along anyway. But I think it was a hinging point, a pivoting point, if you will, that my mom loved it so much. That's why we did it so often. And, of course, the result for me was it was a family ordeal. So we all enjoyed it together at the same time. It helped build the bonds of the family. It kept very close family ties for me. This is one of the reasons I love doing this. This is an option for people to get away from the technology and all the whatever is going on. And get out there and enjoy what God has given us. My gosh, we got water from 3 sides of the state. It's pretty hard to go somewhere and not run into some kind of water of some sort. So enjoy it.
Exactly, and it was like a little holiday for us, especially when you got to pick out when we went. And you have to remember, I've got 6 brothers and sisters, so
my goodness,
it was like yeah. So I remember the first time I remember in Florida fishing, my dad took us to this it looked like a shanty type old tackle shop out in Okeechobee. And we all got to pick our own bamboo fishing poles. We were going to fish off the dock.
I remember those days.
Yeah, for panfish. Well, I tell you, that was so much fun,
That was my first fishing rod was a bamboo pole. My dad figured, well, if you're going to break something, break this, because I'm not going to spend a lot of money, so you can just break it. So he got me. And my goodness, to me, that thing was like 50 feet long. I think it was really, realistically, maybe 9 or 10 feet long, but it was like 50 feet long. I could reach halfway out in the canal with that thing.
I know. I felt the same way. I still remember I was in the 1st grade. And I remember my younger sister, Janice, we were out, like I said, we were out on the dock. And you know how a dock has a little bit of crack in between each of the planks of wood?
Yep.
She was afraid she was going to fall through it, and I remember her crawling like a crab on that to get out to the end of the dock.
Poor
How's
thing.
that for a crazy memory?
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah,
Yep.
you know, fishing, I think fishing is a great sport, but any way that you can get outside and do something together as a family, it just builds strong memories, things that, you know, later on you can talk about, and, you know, it's great. It's just great. It's better than sitting around watching TV.
Well, and being saturated with all the technology, and I don't have anything against technology, because that's how I earn a living. Really, when I'm not on the radio, I earn a living using technology. So it's not a matter of having a grind against technology. It's just a matter of understanding that we're around it so often. I mean, my gosh, I know people who have their cell phone with them literally 24 hours a day. That's not good. Really, it's not physically not good for you to have the cell phone with you all the time like that. It has an effect on your body. Get away from it for a while, you know, and enjoy it's such a different, like, let me point this out to you. It's a friend of mine that listens to the show every once in a while. He said, you know what, Riscala, I was listening to the show the other day, you were talking about how nice it was outside. I decided to go out. He's not married, he's single. I decided to go out. I'm just all on his own. Yeah, took his fishing rod down to, I think it was Jupiter here in Catwalk in Jupiter. And I didn't catch anything, but he said the way everything, the current was moving, the way he was looking at the water before it was all over, he had just found himself very relaxed and very at peace with everything. Where prior to that, you know, it was kind of mumbo jumbo, it was hustle and do this and do that and the other. And he said for that short, brief period of time that I was there, and he said it was like 3 hours, he was fishing for three and a half hours. I had a couple of bites, really didn't catch anything, but you know what? I wasn't expecting to catch anything. I wasn't expecting anything. I just wanted to go out and enjoy the sunlight is really what he wanted. And but he got a lot more. I mean, he got a lot more than he bargained for, because before it was all over, I mean, it changed their whole attitude. The whole day changed for him. Anyway, it's that magic time. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take a break.
I was just going to say, fishing is great, very relaxing. But go ahead, hit your commercial, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, here we go.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Leiza Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid, and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is, and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it.
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 Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day people make me feel small.
Every day I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the I.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Shark, fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show, an honor and a privilege to be with you. You'll find us every Sunday morning here from 8 to 10 a.m. Many different ways you can listen to the show. The easiest of all of them is to download our app. Absolutely free to download the app. There's no cost whatsoever. And you can tune right into the show through the app. If you don't want to do that for whatever reason, you can go online. You can find the Fish Florida Show online, www.fishfloridashow.com. And you can click on our Listen Live button there, or you can go Facebook. If you find us on Facebook, just click on the Contact Us button. And any of those ways, you can listen to us live. Anyway, I found out what happened to Robert. He's going to explain. He's going to tell us what happened, why he wasn't able to call in. And I have Tony on the line with us. Tony, I'll get to you in just a moment. And along with Tony and Robert, I have my co-host, Pam. And thank you so much for joining in, Pam. I greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, let me get to Robert real quick. Robert, a little bit of surprise.
Well, good morning, and let's just leave it at I had to turn off the water in one of the bathrooms. So, for right now.
Oh, no.
We'll get back to that in a little while.
Lord have mercy. Well, thank you for taking time to call in, and Robert, and thank you for introducing me to Tony. How about introducing Tony to the listeners?
Well, actually, I just got done doing an article from that actually had to do with Tony and Captain Bo George in the Dominican Republic for the magazine, and I didn't think that they had quite mentioned Tony enough, so I made an extra page just for Tony. Tony is an outstanding world-renowned photographer, underwater photographer, and a friend, and just a great guy. And tell him what you do, Tony.
I'm an underwater photographer. I specialize in pelagic fish, and I do it all free diving.
Tony, speak into your if your phone a little bit more direct because you're fading in and out.
Hello, you there?
Okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Say it again.
Yeah, hi. I'm an underwater photographer, and I specialize in pelagic fish, and I do it all free diving.
And you do it free diving. Now, see, I didn't know that. I thought I was under the assumption you had tanks.
Oh, no. I haven't used tanks in, God, so long. Yeah, I specialize especially in free diving. Yeah, it allows me to get really close to them. So, it keeps me pretty agile in the water, so I'm able to really sneak up on them.
Some of the pictures.
Anybody who has not seen Tony's art needs to, and they will find a page on him in the magazine. And if you click the little video up in the top corner, it will actually give you a tour of Tony's fine art gallery in Tampa. And there's a link to his website, and you've got to see some of the stuff he has shot. It's just beautiful.
Now, Robert is talking about a magazine. The magazine is the Florida Fisherman magazine, and you can find them. Robert, the website is?
www.flfishmag.com, and the new issue will be out Monday with Tony in it.
And Tony has a website as well. Tony, what's your website?
Tony Ludovico Photography.com. And then we've got the other one for the apparel line, which is th2ogear.com.
And I got to just tell you that some of the pictures that I've seen that you've taken are truly amazing. I don't know how you do it. Are you known as the fish whisperer or the ghost or something? How do you get so close to the fish?
The ghost, yep.
I guess I'm blessed. I don't know. I just love what I do. I guess that helps a lot, too, you know. And not having any fear of the water is a huge asset in that, too. So, you know, I don't hesitate to put myself in a situation with a fish. So I guess that helps a lot.
Well, some of the pictures I've seen are almost like it been photoshopped in the sense that it's so close that you can't imagine somebody is taking that picture. You know, that how in the world is the fish not scared off? You know, because they're in a fish's life, it's either you're the prey or you're going to prey on somebody. It's one of the two.
Right. Well, a lot of them are curious. You know, especially when they see that you're not a threat to them. Some of them are pretty curious because they're all opportunist feeders. So, you know, they might think that there's something to do with food or, you know, who knows what they're thinking. But, yeah, I pull it off. I shoot very wide, so I'm allowed to, you know, focus in on the whole subject, especially a big blue marlin or something like that. So I have to get close to them in order to get all the detail in the image that I'm trying to pull off. So.
Yeah, probably the most amazing shot I've seen of his. As a matter of fact, I have the shirt, and he knows it. Is a permit that's taken from like 2 feet away.
That's
in the grass eating.
Mm.
And
right. Yeah.
How do you get that close to a permit that's eating? You know. So.
Well, that's a good captain. That's somebody down in Belize who really knew what they were doing and knew exactly where to put me to get them, you know, in that right spot. So yeah, just be patient and just really stealth in the water. Yeah, it all pays off.
I think
amazing stuff.
Go ahead.
Now, you said your showroom is in Tampa. Your gallery?
No, I used to have a gallery in Tampa, and we moved it all. I had a really nice gallery off of Kennedy Street in Tampa for a while, and then we wound up pulling it all out of there and bringing most of it down to Key West.
So is that where? So you have a gallery in Key West?
Yeah, I have a gallery off of Duval Street down in Key West called the Rock House.
Wow.
Yep, and it's been down there for a while now. And then, and we're getting ready to grab some stuff out of there and then find another location soon. Well, you know, the gallery thing is so tough because it's, you know, it's all about location. So.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, the gallery thing's cool. But we had a really good time down in the DR. That was a pretty awesome shoot. We actually did some work for some good friends of Robert's from Bimini Bay Outfitters.
Hmm.
And you had Amanda with you. I saw that. Amanda's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. We shot a really cool transit shot of Amanda, and she got to swim. And I took a photo of her swimming with her first blue marlin that she caught.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, the DR, it's one of my favorite spots in the world. I really love drilling down there. It's very productive. You know, they fish these FAD systems down there. It's really neat. All the local ponga captains and stuff, they design these FADs that they float out there, fish attracting devices that helps the small, you know, local boats that really don't have the range to fish to go directly out to some spots, and they know it's going to be productive because the FADs attract bait, which attracts the pelagic fish, which they want to catch to eat. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it works down there. So it's a pretty productive area for somebody like me because it's very photogenic. You know, there's always really cool stuff around those FADs, and they make the FADs out of palm fronds and plastic bags or whatever they have that floats. And they take care of them on a regular basis, and that's how they feed themselves pretty much down there.
That's amazing. So it's almost like villagers going out and doing the fishing?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's the local ponga drivers that really basically fish to feed their families and stuff. You know, sometimes they'll sell it at market, but the majority of them are out there fishing just for food.
Wow.
You know. Yeah, they got the small little pongas. They don't have a lot of range, you know, so they set up these fish attracting devices that they can go back to on a regular basis, and they know there's going to be fish around them, like the majority of the time. So, they don't have GPSs or any of the fancy stuff that we've got on our boats here, you know. So
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it really is amazing how they can find these things without, you know, without any navigational devices to help them. It's pretty cool.
Just shows
really,
you.
They got them anchored to the bottom so they don't move. So
Just shows you how well they know the water. You know that they can
yeah,
find.
it's crazy how good they are down there at what they do. You know, and they fish with yo-yos, and they don't have the luxury of all the badass gear that all the captains and stuff use around here. So it's a different world. But I love going down there. The people are great. The food's awesome. And it's so productive for somebody like me, you know, because there's so much to shoot.
So from
Kelly, when I was in Costa Rica, those yo-yos, they could almost outcast just about everybody else I was around. That is
Funny
a
you say
talent.
that. Oh yeah,
That
it's
is
an
a
art.
talent.
And you know what's super amazing down there is you'll get these guys down there, these small 110, 115 pound guys, and they're standing in pongas and they're throwing like 15-foot, 20-foot cast nets and opening them completely up.
Wow.
Off of a ponga. Oh yeah, it's an art. It's crazy down there how they, you know. And the free divers down there, you know, here I am diving with these $600 carbon fiber fins and low volume masks and state-of-the-art this and state-of-the-art that. These guys might have two fins that don't even match, a mask that's probably 20 years old, and they're diving just as good as anyone else is. So,
wow.
you know, it's just the way of life.
From the description that you were giving, it sounds like the reef there is very healthy.
Yes and no. I mean, it all depends. The reef, I don't really spend a lot of time on the inshore stuff because the water's still a little dirty off the beaches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they, you know, unfortunately, they harvest a lot. So, you know, the inshore stuff isn't as plentiful as it should be because it was, you know, they don't get the whole thing about, you know, conservation and stuff like that. So they, you know, they just rape it pretty much, which is kind of sad. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, that's how they survive. So, but there are certain areas like, you know, where off the beaten path that are very pristine down there. But, you know, it's far and few between because they just, you know, they try to survive. So they just take, you know, they take what they can.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's the sad part about it, you know. But they started really cracking down on a lot of regulations and stuff down there because these fish are worth more alive to them than they are dead because of the tourism and stuff that it brings down.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're trying to really educate them with now, especially down in Guatemala and places like that where the sail fishing is so great, you know, that these fish are worth more alive.
Mm-hmm.
So they're you know, it's a long process down there, but it gets better and better all the time. So.
Where do you, in the places that you visited, where do you think is one of the more pristine places?
I'd say the Galapagos Islands because that's super regulated. Oh yeah, the Galapagos Islands are one of the most gorgeous places in the world. I highly recommend everybody going there once before they die. So
now I'm trying to think in my mind. Is that over near Australia?
Ecuador. Huh? No, it's off of Ecuador, off the coast of Ecuador.
Okay.
Yep. South America. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's so many things to see down there. There's so much wildlife and so much beautiful. Yeah, it's just the Galapagos Islands is probably one of my favorite places in the world to visit. So,
do they have a seal, whatever they call it, a group of seals? Yeah.
See, they have anything you want to see. They have in those islands. They have got birds that you've never even heard of before, and
wow,
lizards and bugs and. Yeah, the marine iguanas, which the Galapagos Islands is the only place in the world that you can see them. You know, they're just crazy. It's crazy what's there. Tortoises, they're as big as Volkswagen Beetles.
Wow.
You know? No, yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Penguins. Yeah, it's one more to penguins. It's awesome. It's just a really, really awesome place in the world, and it's very protected, which is great. It'll be there forever. You know, they've got a really good mindset on keeping that place pristine. So. Yeah, I highly recommend going there to visit if you can.
I take it that you've been there and taken pictures of that.
Oh, yeah, I love going there. I'm actually looking forward to going back soon. We're trying to set up a trip there in the future. You know, I've got some really good friends who run a really cool ecosystem charter thing out there. So they hook me up all the time, take me to all the different islands and shoot all the different animals that I, you know, on my bucket list.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat stuff.
All right, well, we're coming up against a break, but before we go, I want to give you an opportunity here because I've seen some of your work, and it is truly outstanding, and it's enjoyable. To me, it's inspiring that there are still places that have the beauty that you show so eloquently, very, very well. So before you go, give you a second. People want to reach you, Tony, or they want to find out more about you. How do they do that?
They can go to my website, TonyLudovicoPhotography.com or th2ogear.com. And either way, they can see what I'm up against there and contact me through the site.
And you can also find out a little bit more about him on Florida Fisherman Magazine, which, Robert, what is the website for the Florida Fisherman Magazine?
It is www.flfishmag.com, and you'll find Tony and all the other guys that were on that trip to the Dominican Republic in there. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that, Rob. And it comes out tomorrow, you said? That magazine
comes out Monday. Yeah, it'll be out Monday. I should have it done by about noon. We've had some pictures come in late, so I've got to put those in the morning, and then it'll be done. So.
Right on.
I'll shoot you a copy as soon as it's done, Tony.
Sounds good, and I'll share it on my Facebook pages, too.
All right, guys, and Pam, before I go to a break, any parting words for them before we go?
No, just everybody should really check that out. It also gives you an idea why we should conserve and really take care of our waterways.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it's the future. You know, all the young guys coming up. You know, they're not going to have what we had if we don't start.
Amen.
Paying attention a little more.
I agree, 100%. All right, guys, thank you so much, Robert. Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, it's an honor, I tell you. Robert, thanks for taking time to call in and let me know what's going on. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great day. I'm going back to my water problem.
All right, take care, guys.
Sorry.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys, here we go.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet. Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names.
I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this! So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying. That's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle situations.
Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick of Bowen Realty. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478. Diane Whittick at Bowen Realty, located in Wellington at Wellington Trace East and Forest Hill Boulevard. 561-247-5478.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. An honor and a privilege to be with you. You can always find us every Sunday morning here from 8 to 10 a.m. Many different ways you can listen to us. The easiest of all of them is the app. Download our app, absolutely free. A very powerful tool to have in the palm of your hands, too. It gives you a wide variety of information, anything from, the tides, the winds, weather conditions, to a wide variety of other information as well. So this morning I've got one of the top female kayak anglers as my co-host, which is always, I'm always so grateful for her spending the time with me and sharing her unique perspective because she's literally on the water's edge. Good morning and welcome back, Miss Pam. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Always a pleasure to be here with you. I enjoy it.
And
Changing ideas, finding out new stuff.
Yeah, always learning for me. And on the line with us, we have Peter Cammarano. Peter has a very, very unique line of lures that, oh my goodness, we have a couple of our guests. One of them is Mike Simcoe. Mike has told us many stories about how he's out there kite fishing and used Peter's lures with tremendous success. Peter, good morning. Welcome back to the Fish Florida Show. How are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you. How's everybody there?
Great,
Hello?
doing awesome.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Are we connected?
Yep, we have.
Okay, great.
I just kind of sat back. I was waiting for Pam to respond.
No, you know what I find is exciting is Peter has developed a lure that we're testing out, and I'll be testing the next couple weeks for kayaks.
Sweet.
So, yes, because obviously we can't fast troll or really troll much over a couple knots. So he's developed something that we're going to check and see if it's going to work for kayaks. I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, same here. My opinion, for whatever it's worth, is that the next real explosion that we're going to see in competitive fishing is the kayak tournaments. A quick story. About a year ago, in a radio show like this, talked with Pam, and she was coming to the Pompano area to do a tournament, and asked if I had anything that the kayakers could use. And well, I don't know. I was doing a small show in Pompano. Why don't you stop by? Well, we didn't have anything at that time, but I asked her about the tournament. She says, "Oh, we're here." She's coming down for now listen to the word, small tournament. All right, now, in the tournaments that I have participated in, the regular powerboat and so on, a small tournament is 40 to 50 boats, okay? And I asked, well, Pam, what 30, 40, 50? And she says, no, 150. small tournament. Okay. Now, when we launch a boat, we've got it on a double, triple axle trailer, back it down, float power off, and so on. Now, not with the kayaker. On that day that Pam fished that tournament, it was 3 to 5. Okay. Pam, correct me if I'm wrong. 3 to 5, and they launched in the surf.
Yeah.
Now, I visited with Pam not too long ago and watched this in a very 2 feet or less, and that was quite an experience to see them launch through the surf. Now they say that Pam just said, "Well, you don't troll very fast." They actually had the first time I've seen a competitive kayak. It's a paddle boat in a lot of respects, and all of a sudden, off she goes. Right? And I talked to her 3 hours later. No big deal. All right, went out in the surf, in the ocean there, several hours, came back, not a big deal. Okay, and drove back to Tampa. But we did come up with something, a teaser that does have the ability to hopefully attract and hook fish, but done on a much smaller basis than we would use off a regular, center console. But what she hasn't seen is there's another development that I have to send her pictures of to where it's even smaller, but you can stack them. I may have gotten just a little bit off on the edge. But yeah, looking forward to working with Pam on that. Fishing here has started to really get a little bit better. A lot of dolphin are showing up. Kings are still pretty prolific. Some nice sized ones are coming. The weed line offshore, Palm Beach area, has been horrendous. It was almost not worth the time to go ahead and troll for dolphin. Usually you go to the weed lines. They were thick, they were disorganized, and they were deep. So you spent most of your time clearing seaweed. Now, however, it seems like they've become more organized, more defined, and it's looking a lot better, and dolphin are showing up there also.
Nice.
Now, an interesting tournament. Well, I'm sorry, go Pam.
I was going to say, keep track of that weed line for me and let me know how far out it is. Come in a couple weeks.
Okay, no problem. All right, now, the West Palm Beach Fishing Club does a unique tournament right about this time of the year. It's called the Full Moon Wahoo Tournament. When you get to the full moon phase of June, July, and August, it is Wahoo time. So it really gets quite a turnout. It's not a big fancy deal with big captains meetings and parties and all of that, but it's pretty bare bones. And the serious Wahoo angler is out there. I'm going to toot the horn a little bit. In the 3 tournament series, Mike Simcoe, that you have mentioned, and I appreciate very much his support. We took 4th place overall.
Congrats.
So, maybe not in that top 3, but in and around it, and we had a respectable showing.
Congrats. Yeah.
The Wahoo time, yes, they're available throughout the especially this season, this time of the year. We found that when you get to the full moon phase, you will come up on a few days to where you have the moon setting and the sun rising right about in the same time. And you've got about an hour and a half, 2-hour window that you just before dusk to after, to where the bite is a lot more active than any other time of the year. We will go with, I've seen live bait used, my lure, downriggers, seen it on the high speed, used tactics. Just about anything is open, if you will. to approach the wahoo during that period of time. But June, July, August, the 3 moon phases. The next one I think is about the 15th of June, I believe. Yeah. Now we're also.
Are there particular colors that you like to use for wahoo?
Yes. All right. When we're in the morning hours, red and black and purple and black. As the sun. Now those are standards, and it can be used throughout the day where you're targeting them. Blue and white and pink and white also are very prominent. Those are the 4 main colors, and those are the 4 main colors that when I build a wahoo lure, I will work around. Now there'll be variations of it and so on, but those are your 4 basics to do. Usually they're rigged with on the high speed end. I'll rig mine with 400-pound cable and at least a 10-aught stainless hook. When we come down to trolling on planers, downriggers, or just in the normal spread, we'll break the leader down to about 275, and the hook may now wind up being instead of 10-aught, a 9-aught 2-strong hook on that. Personal choice to double inline hooks or single. You can make a case for either one. We try to make it available for angler's choice. Interesting approach. I built a couple of these for a man going to San Salvador. If we talk about, do I get better as far as the number of hookups? I will get more on mono than on wire. However, we'll get more cutoffs on mono than wire. So your choice becomes, do you want the action, if you will, or do you want as much protection? Okay. Now, a wahoo will hit, I call it the strike zone, is the lower half of the lure. I have not heard of and had very few to where that lure gets hit at the head. So if we're talking about that and we're looking to try to maximize presentation or whatever, the theory is from the head of the lure back, underneath the skirt, make that wire. Out the front, make that mono. So what we're trying to pick up is the action of the mono in front of the lure and the security, if you will, of the rig under the lure by using wire. Now, I've gotten...
What size mono are you putting on there, just out of curiosity?
We're running at 200.
Okay.
All right, anywhere between either 150 to 200. We still want to go ahead and keep some strength up there. Don't want to drop it down any lower than the 150. And between 150 and 200, that's fine. Make sure that we have double crimps, and the connection between the wire and the mono. Instead of using just a standard spring loop guard in there, what we do is we use a thimble so that there is no wire rubbing against the mono to cause abrasion on there. So then that'll give us a protection on that side. All the wire crimps are shrink wrapped to make sure that it's a safety factor. If you've ever seen somebody's hand where a fish went on a run and pulled that wire through, and the crimps were not shrink wrapped, it's like a razor blade going through. Okay, so it becomes quite a mess. But we're interesting to see how that theory works. It's not new. It's just not used often. So sometimes, put 50 anglers in a row. It's the same
it's a little
question.
extra expense and it's a little extra time. So you're putting that extra effort in it to, catch fish and protect the angler. It's totally appreciated.
Yep.
Right.
So it makes a difference.
You said protecting. That's why we have gone from double as making standard rigs instead of double inline stainless. We use a single trail. We was getting reports back that if you bring a fish to the boat and you've got a exposed, one of those double hooks exposed, when you gaff them, bring them over the side or through the tuna door, you've got a potential serious safety hazard with that fish flopping around. So we decided to make the single standard and the double as an option.
Wow. Well, Peter, it's that magic time. We're up against a break, but before we go, I want to give you an opportunity. If they want more information about your lures and stuff, I know you have a website, right?
Right, and we are because of new developments in the product line, we're redoing it. Mm-hmm. So instead, come to me direct, 561-502-7022, and we can email and text whatever information we need.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to call in and giving us the information, Pete. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to having you back on. You're always so informative, and a big thank you to you. Pam, before we take a break?
No, I'm just, like I said before, I'm very excited about to try out his new rigging. As you know, kayaking, fishing is, again, one of the fastest growing sports out there, and I hope to be on stage in 2 weeks. That would be awesome.
Yeah, cool.
I look forward to it. All right. You all have a great day. Enjoy the weather, and talk with you soon.
All right. Blessings, my friend.
Take care, sir.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. It's that magic time. Here we go.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
From the author of Silent Steps and Haunted, Finding an Explanation for the Unknown, comes a story so chilling it will haunt you for years to come. Krista is a young woman escaping her past, running away from her family, her traumas, and her God, hoping to find a new life in a different town. But when she is forced to make a horrible choice, she comes to realize malevolent entities have controlled the true darkness she has been a part of. That is when her real terror begins. Penitence is disturbing and evocative. It will tear down the walls between what is real and what is nightmare. Penitence is the new novel by the man called the new master of speculative fiction, Ira Robinson. Find it and all of his books at his website, originalworlds.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Leiza Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Leiza Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Leiza Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@leiza-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Leiza Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today. 561-793-9992. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, where your pet gets celebrity treatment.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn.
Radio show. Radio show.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
Excuse me. All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show, and an honor and privilege to be with you. Having a little technical difficulties here. I don't understand. We got knocked off, and I think we're back on, but I'm not quite sure. We may still be off the air. However, we will continue to record. So for the archive, at least we will have the archive set up. If anybody misses anything, it'll be there on the archive. So this morning I've got Pam Worth. She's one of the top female kayak anglers here in Florida joining me. I appreciate you being my co-host. Thank you for joining.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And let's see.
Peter was really interesting. That was fun.
Yeah. He always got a lot of information, useful information. I'm so grateful for him. And he designs and makes his own lures. He's like a one-man show kind of thing. It's so many things that I like about him. Anyway, it's always such a pleasure to have him on. So I've got, let's see, we've got, I think we have Rick Southerland on. Rick, is that you that's on with us now?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Miss Scholar. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning, young man. You sound chipper.
Yeah, I'm on the water. Of course I'm chipper.
Oh.
There you go. Wow. So where are you out on the water now?
Right now, I'm out on Lake Eustis, which is part of the Harris Chain of Lakes in Central Florida.
Uh-huh.
And
you fishing bass?
Oh, yeah, we're bass fishing out here. We just did a show. We do a live show every Sunday, and we just got done doing a live show, and we're on the radio. And
he's doing his thing this morning, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So what is the water quality like? I hear that the lake is really low right now, and people are concerned because it's so low. Is that affecting you where you're at?
Oh, yes. We haven't had any much rain at all, Riscala. I mean, the water is down. We really need some rain. But as far as that, what that does is it pushes the bass or pushes the fish into small congregated areas, So once you find them, it's lights out. But you have to find them. That's the thing. And, so what I always recommend is using a search bait, something that you can use real fast and cover a lot of area with. What I use right now is is either, believe it or not, a topwater popper or a fluke. My co-angler, he'll use a pedal tail frog because being summertime, a lot of the topwater bites start teaming up because the bass go for cover.
Wow. So in one aspect it makes it easy. On the other aspect, it's not quite that easy. You got to find them. Once you find them, it's going to be easy.
Exactly.
What color fluke are you using?
I'm using either the baby bass or actually Zoom puts out an Arkansas Shiner fluke, and that's what I like to use. You want something that kind of looks like a bait fish, and that's what I'm going for. Of course, your water quality has a lot to do with that, and the darker the water, the darker the lure, and of course I use that, but Arkansas Shiner has been what's working for me, as in the fluke wise, and I'll use a little bullet weight on the end so I can dive it down just a little bit deeper, as it does progresses. But bass will tend to, after the morning bite or after the initial morning bite, they'll go and they'll search for that cover, whether it be hydrillas, lily pads, anything of that nature. But also don't forget, hey, bass are just like us. When the sun comes out, we want to get out of it. We want to find some shade or something to get under, an awning, things like that. That's what bass do as well. So, whenever you go searching for them, find that shade, find them lily pads, find the hydrilla mats, anything that's going to, be some kind of cover to protect them from the sun. That's where they're going to be.
And because of
Good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's what works for us. And whenever you go out there and search for it, that's what you want to look for. If not, then you have to go into deep water. And deep water, you can find the bass in deep water, but I don't know if you want to stay out there in the sun. It's pretty brutal this time of year in Florida.
It does get warm real quick. I walk every morning with my dog because he's a high energy dog and I need the exercise. And this last couple of weeks, boy, what a change from opening that front door and walking out. My goodness, the humidity is back, the heat is back, and I'm talking 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock in the morning, it's already warmed up out there. But I'll take that over the cold anytime. There's people still snowing. It's still snowing in some places, so I'll take that.
Well, and that's like, we haven't had any rain. We haven't had very much rain at all.
Yeah.
But then you look in the Midwest, and they're having all the flooding. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to complain too much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's entire states that are seemingly underwater right now. It's amazing what's going on.
Oh yeah.
It's like the weather pattern has completely shifted over, where places that don't normally get that much water, so much water, they don't know what to do with it, and places that need the water, they're not getting it. So it's kind of backwards.
Looks like we might. Yeah, forecast says over here on the West Coast we might have rain next week. I have a question for you. Fishing,
sure.
and basically, okay, this is my standard joke when people say, "Hey, come on, Pam, let's go bass fishing," and I jokingly tell them, fresh water is for drinking. I fish saltwater, but in the summer, just like in the heart of the winter, we slow things down on the flats. There's less oxygen. Fish are moving slower. When it comes to bass, do you change the speed of your lures depending on what season it is?
Totally. And we do it totally opposite of what you do. In the summertime, we speed them up.
Oh.
We're trying to get that. We're trying to get a reaction bite. We're trying to speed it up. Of course, they need the oxygen, so you want to look for places that have good current. Like if you find a stream, creek, any kind of channel that feeds in there, fish the mouth of it, because right there is going to have a lot of oxygen. But also, that's why a lot of these fish will be by a lot of vegetation, like your hydrilla or your, Kissimmee grass, lily pads. They're going to be around a lot of vegetation, but you have to speed it up in the summertime. They are more active. Bass love. They thrive in the warmer water. As in the wintertime, we have to slow it down. They get real lethargic. We have to go real slow, and so totally different. But yeah, you do have to change it up, and that's why in the summertime, bass fishing, nothing beats a frog. I mean, because you can run a frog over the top of the vegetation, and they'll come up. They're waiting there, but they will get in the cover. You know what I mean? Because it's an ambush spot for them.
Well, you got me right there. Anytime you talk about anything top water, count me in.
Well, see, we do a live show, and I can sit here and do a live show fishing a worm or something like that, but that's not as exciting as that top water explosion. I mean, there's nothing that'll get your heart beating faster and more exciting than that. And people love to watch that. They love that. They love seeing that. So that's and that's my go-to. I mean, I'm a go-to guy on the top water, and I like the toppers fast. I use it like a stick bait.
Uh-huh.
But
and it's like the sound of it too.
Well, yes, the one I'm using right now is called it's made by Stewart. It's called a rattling shell bug. And it sounds like it has BBs in it, so it's kind of like a rattle trap.
Oh.
But it's a hard bait. It's got 2 treble hooks. And the key to any type of popper or top water, make sure it has a feathered tail hook. If it doesn't have a feathered tail hook, get rid of it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. If you've ever heard of like the wicker plopper, it has a tail that spins. Well, it gives something. But if you don't have any kind of spinning or a feather on it, go ahead and put it in the tackle box, because you're going to catch 10 pounds more with something on the back of it.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you say, the freshwater is one of the bigger. See, when I fish saltwater, I have to drink when I fish saltwater, because a lot of people will get seasick. They'll get used to the current. But I found if you drink beer while you're out in the saltwater, that'll actually cure that. Is that true?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Can you repeat that? You kind of faded in and out. I don't know if you're moving your phone or talking away from your phone, but I'm only catching about a third of what you're saying. I apologize.
Well,
so
when you said that freshwater is more of, like you said, as more of a, the drinking fishing, as saltwater is, is a little bit different. We'll see us, I at least was told that when you fish saltwater, to keep from getting seasick, you should drink. Is that true?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
No.
I just meant like freshwater is to drink. You drink freshwater. You don't drink saltwater. But, I don't know. I don't drink on the water at all except, ice cold water. That's about the only thing that I drink on the water, just because I'll get lackadaisical. There's nothing, I'm not like making this protest against it. But I just, with the heat and everything, I get too laid back.
Absolutely.
So,
that was just a myth that I was told, and I didn't know. They said it helped you because a lot of people get sick because their equilibrium wasn't, right? So they would drink.
I think
I think it would make you sick, more sick.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I couldn't drink on the water. You know what I mean? I would get sick because of the heat.
Yeah. I don't know. I just was watching the horizon. The only time I came close to getting seasick was in the Bahamas during a kayak tournament, and we literally had 8 to 12 foot swells.
Oh my gosh!
It was like a roller coaster, up and down. When you're at the top, you could see everything. When you're at the bottom, it looked like 2 mountains. The next wave looked like a mountain coming at you.
Yep.
I would be so scared.
Nah. When I was looking down to re-rig, and you're going with these waves and everything, my stomach did get a little queasy. I had to stop, look away, and just kind of look at the horizon for about 5 minutes just to settle back down my stomach. But that was the only time. The cue is don't eat anything weird the night before.
Well, and I've been told that too. As long as you could see the, like you said, the horizon, as long as you could see land, I heard it keeps a lot of people at bay better. But once they get away from where they can't see land, that made them more queasy. I didn't know. Like I said, it was a myth I heard. I didn't know. I don't do very much saltwater fishing, so
I'll tell you 2 things. Yeah, I'll tell you 2 things. One, both reasons I think they get seasick is nerves. If you can see the land, or if you have an adult beverage, both of them are going to calm your nerves.
Right.
I think that's maybe why it acts as a remedy.
Well,
Right.
Yeah. Well, Rick,
I didn't know.
We're out of time, but before we go, are you a guide? I don't recall.
No, I'm not a guide. Like I said, we do a live show.
Mm-hmm.
We do it on the water. And that's our motto is keep it real, because if I get hung up on a tree or or whatnot, I show them how to get it off and how to do it.
That's sweet.
I mean, we keep it real. It's if I fall out of the boat, you're going to see it, But I mean,
Sorry.
that's the thing is well, I mean, things happen, and that's the part. It's not something that's been edited and
right.
everything else.
Yeah.
It's live. It's what you see is what you get. And I try to explain the lures I use and why I'm using them and how I'm using them. And you can see it. It's on our Facebook page. We're also working with Victoria on the Cloud Network broadcasting and getting that all set up there to where we can do a live show on there as well. And we'll reach over 300 platforms and do it worldwide.
Excellent.
How did people find you? How do they find the live show?
Well, they can find me using Southerland Outdoors through Facebook. We also have a website, southerlandoutdoors.com. And then, of course, we're on Instagram, YouTube, through all that, and they can link up right there.
Great.
And, of course, the Cloud Network broadcasting.
Great.
Excellent.
Well, Rick, thank you for taking time to call in. I greatly appreciate it, and always informative. And again, I've learned something about bass fishing today because I don't do a lot of freshwater. My favorite is saltwater.
Anytime you come up to Central Florida, Riscala, give me a holler. I'll take you out on the water.
Well, thank you, my friend. God bless you. Greatly appreciate that. All right. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Take care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Leiza Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Grace has some pretty stellar arms, like Serena Williams good, but her face is pretty disgusting.
Someone please tell him to go back into his closet and leave us alone.
Brittany's face is so stupid and I hate her so much. It's like a scientist created her in a lab to annoy humanity and didn't even do that good of a job.
Megan reminds me of a troll doll that came to life intent on killing us with her stupidity.
Why is Grace's head so big? It definitely has nothing to do with how smart she is and probably everything to do with how bloated she is.
He's so funny. Just kidding. Who would find this disfigured flamingo funny?
Never post a selfie of yourself. You look so ugly.
The only reason you have so many views is because we think you're a freak and we can't look away.
Megan is the main reason that the world sucks so much.
I would rather get cancer than listen to another Trevor Moran song.
You are a mistake. You should have never been born.
Drown yourself in a shallow puddle, please.
Wow, I hope she's sterile.
These really stopped being funny a long time ago.
You're so much more than the things that people say about you.
Those people have no right to say cruel things to you to make themselves feel better.
It's okay that you sound different than everyone else.
That's what makes you so special.
We will not tolerate it.
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 Every day, people make me feel like I stand out simply because of the way that I look.
Every day, people make me feel small.
Every day, I face the cruel words of bullying.
And every day, people tell me that I'm brave for enduring this humiliation.
But we're not the brave ones.
It's the ones that say no to the bullying.
The witnesses.
If we all join together, there's nothing that we can't do. We will no longer be the silent majority.
When we see bullying online,
We will let the world know that we're going to take action with the eye.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
Our actions will overpower cruel words.
I am a witness.
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 There is power in words.
But it's nothing compared to the power of the actions that we put behind our words.
Visit eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'm gonna stand by you.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And now your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show, and I am your host, Riscala. We had a bit of technical, I don't know really what happened. It looks like we got knocked off the server, and then we're back on the server, and we got knocked off again. Whatever you've missed, I don't know what part of it is not functioning correctly, but whatever you've missed will be in the archives. According to my server, we are back on. We are live, and we're back on the air again. Don't know it's something going on the server's end, not on our end. Something happening over there anyway. So we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. Thank you for taking time to join in. I am your host, Riscala. This morning I have Pam Wirtz. She's one of the top female kayak anglers with me. Good morning, Miss Pam. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, sir. Good morning to you. So far, a great show.
Well, it's
lots of information.
A little bit of technical issues on the back end, but it's so enjoyable when we have very interesting guests on. And the next one is, like I told you before we came on the air, I really enjoy this next one because of what they do, what they stand for, wanting to make a better environment for everybody and making it really easy, and many times being rewarded for it in many different ways. Good morning, Miss Leiza.
Well, good morning, Riscala. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Wonderful. Well, it is a gorgeous day, and I hope that everyone is getting out on the water and submitting their entries in STAR. I saw that Miss Pam has done so, so way to go, Pam.
Thank you. Yeah, this weekend I got 2 nice fish. I got one that was in the slot and one that was over slot. So I got 2 entries for you, lady.
Oh, well, they are beautiful, and I can tell you, we are having so many wonderful entries, and I want to remind listeners, especially our Southwest Florida listeners, that although we have closures in Southwest Florida for trout, snook, and redfish, you still can reward yourself for releasing those fish by entering them in the STAR competition and winning some amazing prizes. So, don't forget, even though you're practicing catch and release, there is a reason to still go fishing, and that is to win your share of $500,000 in prizes.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard somebody in Tampa Bay lost out on a $40,000 fish.
Ouch.
Oh, my gosh, Pam. To date, we have had 5 tagged redfish recaptured since this past Saturday. So it's quite some time.
And how many of them?
None of them were registered.
Wow.
And I will tell you, most of them knew about the competition.
I was going to say, I know the guy in Tampa Bay, and he is still kicking himself. He and his buddy have been in that same spot, I think, every day since then.
Well, I am going to tell you, that is what I tell people. These fish don't travel far from where they were released. So as an angler, and you are not registered, you capture one of those fish, make sure that you release that fish with the tag, and you can go back to that area and continue to try and recapture that fish for a second time. You will have the opportunity to win as long as you, as long as you follow all the directions.
So
and you register for the tournament.
Yeah. I think that's a vital part. Yeah, take the time to register. But tell tell the listeners a little bit about, this is a unique tournament. This doesn't go on for just a couple of days. This goes on for a while.
No, Riscala and Pam. This is a 101-day competition. It runs, the start was Memorial Day weekend. It runs all the way to Labor Day. And you can register throughout the entire competition. So you didn't have to get registered before the start of the competition. You can register all the way through the competition. There are 11 species in this competition, as well as 17 divisions. So there's something for everyone. In fact, you don't even have to be an angler to participate in this competition. You can just be someone who is concerned about our waterways. You can go out and pick up garbage and submit them through the smartphone app and win your share of prizes. It is the Costa Kick Plastic Trash Division. You gather a 5-gallon bucket, take a picture of it, submit it, and we will do a random drawing of all the entries for $1,500 cash from Waxhead Sun Defense. We give away a body glove, paddleboard. There's so many things. But one of the things that I really am most proud of is our Youth Scholarship Division presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. We have Realtree Fishing involved and many other sponsors. To date, we have awarded $400,000 in college scholarships.
How sweet.
We have another $100,000 in college scholarships again this year for youth anglers just going out and catching fish. But one step further, in the trash division, after you've caught your fish and submitted your fish, go gather some trash. And for every 5-gallon bucket that a youth submits, if they are required to have community service hours for their high school, we will give them 30 minutes of community service hours for every 5-gallon bucket that they gather and dispose of properly. So over the summer, they could get their community service hours just by picking up garbage.
Wow.
That's great.
This is my passion. I'll tell you what, this is really the heartstrings for me. When people do things where everybody benefits, and in a way it's kind of selfish because I'm part of everybody, you know. It helps me too as well. And the idea of trying to leave the place better than it was when we came. This is the generation that my parents came from, wanting to make it better for the next generation. That idea has kind of gone on the back burner, if you will, so to speak. And people like you bring it out and put it in the spotlight where it really needs to be. We have, I said this earlier, we have water on 3 sides of the state. If we don't take care of the water, and our bodies are 75% water, you don't take care of the water, you're not taking care of yourself. And when you're taking care of the water where everybody benefits, I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that.
Well, the competition is to create awareness for our conservation efforts. All of the proceeds from the competition go back into youth scholarships and habitat restoration. And that is the biggest function of our organization, CCA Florida, is habitat restoration. We have put, to date, our organization in 10 years has put $4.5 million back into habitat restoration of our coastal waterways. So we do that in collaboration with other organizations and other companies. So in order for us to function, we need volunteers who come out and help us restore oyster bars and shorelines. And we do the clam establishment in the Indian River Lagoon and in Tampa Bay. And all of these things take people. And if we don't have members joining us to help us with this, it is a small group of people working on a really large problem. The more people we have, the stronger we become. So, you know, if you're not a member of our organization, and if you don't find that we're the proper organization for you, find one that is, and that is actually doing something, that is actually working in habitat restoration, in projects that are improving the water. There are so many organizations out there who have may not have good intentions. So you want to make sure that when you're getting involved with an organization that they're established, they have a great track record, and they are actually doing something with your money. So get involved. If you're not part of the solution, you are actually part of the problem. So
that's true. Hey, you talked about restoration projects and needing volunteers. Do you have another one coming up in the future?
We have lots of different projects coming up throughout the state. We do oyster bed renourishment, seagrass planting, shoreline stabilization. We have a trash cleanup that's going on right now, and it is virtual. So wherever you are throughout the state, you can go online onto the iAngler app and choose the CCA trash cleanup, and you can pick up trash wherever you are in the state, and that is part of a volunteer event. It's an 8-day trash cleanup for anybody anywhere in the state, and you do not have to be a member or pay to get involved in that trash cleanup. You can go to the website, which is ccaflorida.org, and all of our volunteer opportunities are there on the website of the projects coming up.
Excellent. Can you repeat the website one more time so people get that?
ccaflorida.org is the website to find volunteer opportunities and to become a member. And if you want to find out more information about the STAR competition, you can go to ccaflstar.com, and you can get yourself registered there and find out all of the different divisions involved in STAR. There's both inshore and offshore conservation. The Power Pole Conservation Division is awesome. Your oversized redfish, you can put in that one, Pam.
I will. I will. Thank goodness I kept it. Thank goodness it stayed on the board. I thought, oh my gosh, there's another redfish flipping back in before I can get a photo.
We've seen so often that, and it's funny. I'm glad you had a video of it. That was a cool video, and I'm hoping to utilize that in our social media. So, and I'm hoping that you and I will get on the water. I may have told you this, but I actually just got an Old Town topwater.
Nice boat.
And
nice kayak.
Yes, I am really excited. So I have not had a maiden voyage, but to go with you would be the piece de resistance.
I just thought of something. I was watching a video on I think I was on YouTube or something, and those short commercials that come up before the video, and you have to watch like 3 seconds, and then you can click out of it. Well, I was about to click out of it, and it was a commercial about a foldable carrying kayak. It looks like a suitcase almost. And then they take it out to the water's edge and they unfold this thing, kind of sort of like a tent kind of deal, and they take off in it. They show them taking off in it. I just thought about that while you guys were discussing it. Yes, a foldable, completely portable kayak. I imagine it weighs less than 100 pounds, the whole thing.
Well, I would say keep it on a calm lake.
I was just going to say fresh water might be the ticket there.
But that was amazing, some of the things that we do. You know what really caught my attention about CCA of Florida, Leiza, was you're the only ones, and I think I'm correct when I say this, you're the only ones that I've ever heard of, and I think you're the only ones that offer a category in a fishing tournament that truly is beneficial for everybody, and they don't even have to fish. And you had mentioned that about picking up the trash. That really, many years back, I ran a plastics plant. Plastics are a great product. They're phenomenal, but they have a downside, and the downside is they don't break down properly because they're a petroleum product. When we have people that get out there and help clean up the environment, this helps everybody benefits from this. And when you have an opportunity not only to clean up, but then be rewarded, there's a chance that you will be rewarded financially for doing it. So not only are you rewarded emotionally because you know you've done something that's going to help everybody, you've helped clean up the environment, but then there's that possibility of being rewarded financially on top of that, which is to me is like icing on the cake.
It is a win-win for everyone. The competition's not just about winning for the anglers. It's winning for the environment. All the data that we gather, the 20,000 plus fish entries, that's all dependent data that FWC, the universities use for research purposes, the Snook and Gamefish Foundation uses. All of it is research. But as you said, Riscala, most importantly is we're doing something for the environment. We're cleaning up the waterways.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you a really cool story if I've just got a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have had a youth angler that got involved with the competition. They won a scholarship, and they really were enamored by the trash division. He has started within his school weekend adventures where all the kids get together and they pick a certain area of their community that is saltwater influenced, and they go and they clean it up.
Wow.
And he is spearheading all of these cleanups, and they're putting them into the star competition. And it has just been such, I get goosebumps to think about it. If just his participation in our competition has motivated that young man to do this, we're getting involved with more and more of the school system and getting these educators to understand that these are things that these kids can do. It's really amazing the influence and the education that these youth are getting and what we need to do to make our world a better place.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. That's great. That is really inspiring.
It is inspiring, and I hope that other youth will take the time. It's really easy for them because they can do it all through an app with all of their friends. And then the parent reached out to me, and we were able to get all of that garbage. They collected 600 pounds of garbage.
Wow.
And then we had waste management come and pick that garbage up.
Now,
these are the kind of things that are just awesome.
That's the community working together. That's great.
Yeah, truly. And, you guys work with, help me, Pam, Captain Holland. What does Captain Holland do? I don't.
The trap roundup.
Yeah.
The Ghost Trap Rodeo. We worked with them, provided prizes for his events, and partnered with them, and it was amazing.
And it's another organization that works on literally cleaning up the waterways, and everybody benefiting, but some people benefiting financially, not just benefiting with better surroundings and cleaner waterways, which is priceless if you ask me, but also somebody gets rewarded financially as well. That's the kind of stuff I love, this kind of stuff, because we've got to take care of the environment. I came from my parents truly believed that we must leave a place better than we came, and somewhere along the line that message was garbled up and lost, and people like you bring it back, and that's what really inspires me. People like CCA of Florida, people like what was the name of that group again? Captain Holland's group?
Ghost Trap Rodeo.
Yeah. With the Ghost Trap Rodeos. That's the kind of stuff where everybody wins. I love it. All right, my dear.
Well, and that's what we talk about. Well, thank you, Riscala, for getting the word out there, and I hope that your listeners will get on the website, www.ccaflstar, and get registered for the competition so that they can make their summer more rewarding by catching fish.
That makes it, this isn't, I'm not trying to be facetious or funny. It makes some serious money if you catch the right fish, right?
Yes. You can win $10,000.
$10,000 is...
a tag dolphin. You can win a brand new contender valued at $80,000. It sits on a Rolls axle trailer with a Yamaha GMC pickup truck, Pathfinder, Hughes, Carolina skiff, Relentless boat. There's the Piranha boat, Saltmark skiff. The list goes on. Stump Knocker. I mean, you just name it. We've got tons of boats to give away. All you have to do is go out and catch fish, and it's a random drawing. It's not the biggest fish that wins.
Wow.
I like that part because it puts everybody at equal footing. You're not sitting there and going, Gary Dingle is going to win again.
Well, he wins a lot, but everybody gets a shot at this. All you have to do is catch a minimum size fish. So that's what we tried to do. As a tournament angler, I realized that other people wouldn't fish a tournament where the big fish won, because you don't, a lot of times you don't have a shot at it. So if we give every angler of every skill level and every age an opportunity, that's how you become successful. And it's just been, and we have over 4,000 anglers fishing with us right now.
Wow.
We hope to have over 7,000 at the end of the summer.
I love it. Well, thank you, Leiza. I greatly appreciate it. And I want to have you back on continuous updates on what's happening.
Well, let's hope someone wins a new boat or truck here, and they're registered when they catch that tagged redfish. Remember, there's 4 tagged redfish in every coastal county except for Citrus County, Charlotte County, and Brevard County. Those counties all have 8 tagged redfish. So if you're planning your summer fishing trips, you want to try and target one of those counties. Your opportunities are greater to catch redfish there.
And serious prizes. Wow. Very serious prizes. Well, thank you so much.
Which 3 counties? Just one more time. Which 3 counties?
So Citrus County, Charlotte County, and Brevard County. So plan your fishing trips in Citrus, Charlotte, or Brevard. That's Englewood, Punta Gorda. Actually, just so you know, Englewood, Punta Gorda has already had 2 tagged redfish recaptured in their county. However, they were not registered. Both of those fish were released with the tag intact in the fish. So there are still 8 tagged redfish in that county.
Wow.
Well, I know where I'm going next weekend.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Make your Sunday count by going fishing and going to church. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Well, thank you, Leiza. Greatly appreciate it. God bless you, my friend. Wish you a wonderful day. Give Pam a second here to say goodbye to you before you take off.
Yeah, thank you again, Captain. I appreciate it, lady.
All right. You take care, girl. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That is an awesome organization to help support and get involved with. Several ways you can do that. If you want to join up for the organization itself, it's CCAFLSTAR. Let's try that again, Rascala. CCAFLstar.com. CCAFLstar.com. Or you can go to CCAFL.org to find more out about them as well. And my next guest is already on the line, which is great because I'm just going to skip the commercials. I'll have a talk with my sponsors when we're over. We have kind of a weird problem there. We got knocked off the air for, I guess, about 10 or 15 minutes, but I know that we're back on. It's showing that we're back on. So my next guest is Paul VanReenen, and he has a small company called Unfair Lures. I've seen some of his lures, and the way he approaches the lure theology is he does it from a scientific point of view, which and what I enjoyed about it is that he really knows his stuff. He's the only one that I know of who is, I think I'm right, he can correct me if I'm wrong, he's the only one that I know of who's actually taken a real fish and designed a lure right off of a real fish, made a mold off of a real fish and used that to help design his lures. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, morning, Rascala and Pam. How you guys doing?
Very good, sir. Hey, how are you coping with the land of no water?
We're
Making a lot of trips, I'm sure.
Man. I've downsized now. I'm using a rip and slash 25 millimeter for small.
There you go.
No, we're doing well, yeah, Pam. Loving the Texas Hill Country and looking forward to doing a trip down to Florida and seeing all the dealers again and meeting up with all the friends for sure.
So, was I correct, Paul? Is that you that took a fish and actually designed your lures using
100%, 100%, Rascala. You know, I figured if you go to a restaurant and order a ribeye steak, when the steak comes to your plate, you know exactly what you're expecting. So if I bring a bunch of hamburger there and I press it into a patty and I put it on your plate in front of you, you know, out of good manners, you might eat it. So, but generally you want what you're looking for. So, yes, sir. We took live baits, mullets, greenies, shrimp, some of the pilchard species, and we molded them exactly. Figured out the weighting balances on the inside so that they swam correctly, And essentially, you're fishing with an unfair lure live bait, except it doesn't have a heartbeat.
That's cool.
So, and it just makes it so nice, because sometimes when I've been fishing with folk in the past, they first go out to go and get bait. So they cast netting here, cast netting there, and you spend 2 hours getting bait, your boat's filthy or you're wet, and I'd just rather go straight to where I want to fish, and I've got an artificial live bait in my hand right away.
And when you've got one that's designed after a living fish, then I believe your odds are going to slightly go up a little bit.
Well, for sure, definitely.
I'm being smart.
Especially if you learn to operate the bait as a live bait should swim. For example, I get folks sometimes, messaging me in or telling me at a show, man, they bought some mullet some time back and they haven't caught a fish on the mullet yet, and is there something wrong? And I said, well, how are you retrieving it? Well, kind of twitch, and a pause and a twitch and a pause. And therein lies the problem. You see, mullet don't swim like that. So if you fish a mullet-style bait, you want a constant retrieve because mullet are constantly swimming. So as soon as you twitch, pause, you're creating a pilchard out of a mullet, and it's an anomaly to a fish.
Good point. Let's see. I'm always learning. Wow.
You want to kind of match what you actually see in your environment.
Mm-hmm. So what would be a twitch pole kind of?
Mostly your pilchard type species. Greenback herring are very side-to-side active little swimmers by reason of what they eat. They actually eat planktonic matter and algae, free-floating algae in the water, etc. That's why many of those little fish have a black stomach lining, and it's got nothing to do with camouflage. It's got to do with no light entering the stomach, because if light comes into their stomach, that algae will photosynthesize and they'll gas up and burst.
Wow.
Just an interesting...
I mentioned in introducing you that you approach it from a completely different manner than anyone else I've ever spoken to, and it's more of a scientific approach than it is, a logic. Well, logical is part of it as well, but it's more. There's more scientific involved with your design and your approach to the lure industry than other people.
Yeah, I just got to a point in my life where potluck didn't work anymore. Sometimes folks will, take a rod and put a bobber on it, or take a little bit of bait, and they'll go and sit somewhere in the hopes of catching something. For me, I like to go and get a sure outcome. I love to catch fish. I love to release 99.99% of my fish. But it's about having a whole lot of fun to me, really. So
so you've been at this.
When a fisherman uses an unfair lure, without sounding like an infomercial, I've designed the lures to satisfy me, and if they satisfy me, I know that my fishermen out there will have a far greater chance at success. Well, Pam can tell you that too.
Pam?
You're a nationally, or I would say internationally known angler too. You've caught hundreds of species of fish, so you have a lot of experience and in the background of to design these lures. You know exactly what different species they're looking for.
Yes, ma'am, correct. I'm standing on 604 species right now, so that's quite
wow.
fun. I've had a good time. Fished Australia, fished the Bahamas, fished Africa, all over the place, and the United States.
My goodness.
So,
I didn't realize
it's all been a whole lot of fun.
Wow. I had no idea that it was so many.
Out of all that, what's one of your favorite places to fish?
Pam, I have quite a few. I got to say, I have an area in the Big Bend of Florida where I fish with Captain John Vadder quite a bit. And albeit that there's not a million species there, it's redfish and trout and triple tail and stuff like that, and sheepshead. We have a whole lot of fun, man. I'm telling you, it is great fishing. It's world-class fishing, actually. So I enjoy that very, very much. Catching big trout is one of my favorites. Smallmouth bass are one of my favorites. But I've got to say, there's no place like the United States in the world of fishing. I don't think there's another place like here.
Wow.
So I love the U.S.
Well, we appreciate people like you. I'll tell you, people who make fishing so much more enjoyable and more. That's the word I'm looking for. Successful. When they're using something like what you provide. That's so. If somebody wants to see these things or wants to get more information about your lures, and it is called Unfair Lures, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Just straight Unfair Lures. My wife Beulah came up with a name. So while I was designing the baits, I was looking for a lure name, etc. And she said to me, "Lovey, they're going to be unfair." And I said, "What?" So it is unfairlures.com. Yes, sir. If anybody wants to go and have a look, and we've got, in the Florida region, we've got a great number of fantastic dealers. Tampa Fishing Outfitters in the Tampa Bay area has got a full line of our baits. They've got wonderful staff working there. So they can answer a lot of questions, etc. But yeah, unfairlures.com will show you where there's a dealer near you.
Great.
And we'd love to hear more about the folks, online on Facebook, etc.
Excellent.
We have a great Instagram page too. A lot of photos of what people are using out there to catch different fish.
Ma'am. Yes,
oh, nice.
We I'm not the sharpest. Actually, truthfully, here in the Texas Hill Country, we don't have internet yet. So, we're still getting our internet in 3 weeks. So I've been in the dark. I haven't watched TV for 3 months, and it's actually been quite nice.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't miss anything on the Game of Thrones.
No, I don't even know whose game of what.
You're in my world now. I don't ever watch television. It's just something I stay away from.
Yeah, Riscala, it's been such a life change for Beulah and myself. We in the hill country, and the flowers are something else. We have flowers all around the house, and I dare not mow the lawn. Beulah says, "You don't mow the lawn until all the flowers are dead." But anyways, it's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, we get these little white flowers during the wintertime, and we call that the Florida snow. I don't know if I know you lived in Florida for a little while. But
yes, sir. Yes, I'm familiar with it.
I don't know what they call them, but that's as close as we get to it right there. These little flowers, pretty little things. But
we have like yellow flowers one week, and then the next week they're all red, and then the week after that they're purple, and the week after that, like we've got a lot of white now. So
wow.
It's just very pretty.
Well, I want to wish you a wonderful day, and thank you for taking the time to call in and give me a second to let Pam say goodbye to you before you take off.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ms. Pam.
I just kind of wanted to thank you for all you do for the industry. Also, what you might not know is Paul's a great supporter of lady anglers, too, and has helped support lady tournaments and get ladies out there fishing. So I'm a little biased on this, but I do want to thank you for all you do besides making just lures.
No, I appreciate that, Pam, and I just wanted to bless you guys for having a great radio show and just say a special blessing over this beautiful country. God bless these great United States.
Amen. Thank you, my friend. Wish you a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to having you back on with an update here sometime in the future.
Yes, sir. I look forward to it, and have a lovely day, both of you.
Thank you again.
Okay, bye.
So long now. All right, Miss Pam, that about wraps it up for us for today. Any parting words before you take off?
Oh, sorry, put the phone down for a second. No,
Silly girl.
I just want to say, get out there, enjoy it.
It is a pretty day.
Fish from a land, from a dock, from wading, from a boat. Just go out and enjoy yourself, and don't take it too seriously. Don't worry about catching the biggest or the most. Just go out and have a good time.
There you go. It is a pretty day out there, so take advantage of it. All right, my friends, greatly appreciate you taking the time to listen in, and we are out of time. You can find us again in a week. We'll be back. Thank you so much.